In the last lecture video of PAF, that is Performance Appraisal and Finance, we have started with the decision tree approach, and we have saw how the decision tree is used for the purpose of calculation whether project is feasible or not. In this lecture, we will again see a detailed problem related to it and how we can form the solution. The link of the question is been attached with the video. Kindly refer to it for the purpose of question. Now in this video we will formulate the solution, but before that we would have a brief of a question. A question says that we have a project into consideration which is to be taken into approach whether to accept it or reject it on the basis of financial feasibility by using decision tree approach. The project would have a cash outflow of 2,50,000 and the cash inflow is divided into 2 years, and the cash inflow of 2 years is being given. In the three possibilities, it is 1 lakh, 1,20,000 and 1,80,000. While probability is 0.2, 0.4 and 0.4 again respectively for year 1. For year 2, for the first situation, the cash inflow would be rupees 45,000 at 0.2 probability, rupees 1,20,000 0.3 probability, and rupees 1,80,000 for 0.5 probability. Similarly, for the second situation, the cash inflow would be rupees 1,40,000 at 0.2 probability, rupees 1,80,000 for 0.6 probability, and rupees 1,90,000 for 0.20 probability. For the third situation in year 1, that is of 1,80,000 cash inflow. In second year the possibilities are 1,90,000 at 0.3 probability. Second thing, 2,10,000 at 0.3 probability, and lastly 2,60,000 at 0.4 probability. These are the cash inflows after tax which is being given for year 1 and year 2. To us, we have to determine whether we can accept the project or reject the project. We can rename it as situation A, B and C for year 1, and for each situation we have been given with 3 types of cash inflows, and we have to determine whether we can accept the project or whether we have to reject the project. The cost of capital for the company is being given at the rate 10%. We can refer to present value factor table for this purpose. It has been attached with the earlier videos when we have first used the present value factor in our question syllabus. Now we will start with decision tree approach. This part would constitute for decision tree, and this would be working which would be necessary for the purpose of preparing the solution. First of all, decision tree starts from here, cash outflow. For year 1 we have written our cash inflows, that is 1 lakh, 1,20,000 and 1,80,000 for various probability. For each situation we have 3 types of in year 2 we have 3 types of inflows. We have write it with various probabilities for the 3 years. Now we can name it as path 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. For the purpose of ease in the calculation, we have written here as path. These 3 would constitute A path, these 3 would constitute B path, and these 3 would constitute C path. So when we are going to make the calculation, it would be quite easy for us to make the calculation lightly. So what we have to write? We have to write for cash inflows for year 1 for the purpose of calculation of NPV. Now we have to calculate NPV. NPV would be based upon the calculation which we are going to make in the working note. So cash inflow for first year was 1 lakh for situation A for all 3 situations. So we would write 1 lakh for 3 continuous path. Why 3 for continuous path? Because all the 3 paths would have same cash inflow for first year. Similarly, for B situation in year 1 we have cash inflow of 1,20,000 for each path 4, 5 and 6, because in all of these paths it is just been the extended part of first year. That is why 1,20,000 of cash inflow for the 3 situations, 1,20,000 for 4, 5 and 6. Similarly 1,80,000 for 7, 8 and 9. 1,80,000 as year 1 cash inflow would be constant for the set of each three. For A situation, these three for these three, cash inflow would be 1 lakh. For B situation, cash inflow would be 1,20,000 for 5, 4, 5, 6, and for 7, 8, 9 it would be 1,80,000 for all these paths. Now discounting factor for first year, when we see in the present value table or in the question, we would be either be provided with the table or with the discounting factor calculation. So for the first year at the rate 10%, the calculation goes to 0.909 for 1 year. So we can write it for all the 9 paths, 0.909 for first year. For all the 9 paths, we have discounting factor 909. Now we have to convert into PV. We have discussed earlier, cash flow multiplied by discounting factor is equals to our PV. So we would do the same. 1 lakh multiplied by 909, 90,900. For first 3 years it would be constant 90,900. For fourth, fifth and sixth, again 1,20,000 multiplied by 909, that is 1,09,080. 1,09,080. Again it would be same for the 3 set. Then for 7, 8, 9, again 1,80,000 into 909, it would be 1,63,620. 1,63,620. This was the calculation for the first year. Similarly, we have to do the calculation for second year. In second year, we have our cash flows which are different. For path 1, our cash flow was 45,000. For path 2, our cash inflow was 1,20,000. For path 3, it is 1,80,000. Similarly, for path 4, it is 1,40,000. Then for path 5, it is 1,80,000. Path 6, it is 1,90,000. Similarly, we will go for 7, again 1,90,000. For 8, it is been written 2,10,000. And lastly, for 9, it is been written 2,60,060. These are our cash inflows for second year with respective path. Again, discounting factor of 10% is been given in the question, and when we see in present value table, the discounting factor for second year is being 0.826. It would be again constant for all the 9 paths, hence we have to write in all the 9 paths our discounting factor 0.826. Just a moment. Yes, we have completed it. Now we have to calculate again present value for second year. It would be constituted by again same formula, cash inflow multiplied by discounting factor is equals to present value, that is 45,000 multiplied by 0.826 equals to 37,170. For second year 1,20,000 into 0.826, 99,120. For third year it would be 1,48,680. For fourth path it is 1,15,640. For fifth path it is 1,48,680. Then for sixth path it is 1,56,940. For seventh path again 1,90,000 into 0.826 equals to 1,56,940. For eighth path it is again 2,10,000 into 0.826, it is 1,73,460. 460. Then for last and the ninth path, 2,60,000 into 0.826 equals to 2,14,760. These are our calculations for year 2 present value. Now we have to calculate total PV. The formula for total PV is quite simple. We have to just add up the things. What we have to add up? PV of first year plus PV of second year is equals to our total PV. Total PV, we can write it here. PV first year plus PV second year. That is our total PV. 90,900 plus 37,170 equals to 1,28,070. For second year, 90,900 plus 99,120 equals to 1,90,020. For third year, 90,900 plus 1,48,680 equals to 2,39,580. For fourth year, 1,09,080 plus 1,15,640 is equals to 2,24,720. For fifth part, it would be 1,09,080 plus 1,48,680 is equals to 2,57,760. Then for sixth part, it is 1,09,080 plus 1,56,940 equals to 2,66,020. Then for seventh part, 1,63,620 plus 1,56,940 is equals to 3,20,560. Then for eighth part, it is 1,63,620 plus 1,73,460 equals to 3,37,080. And lastly for ninth part, 1,63,620 plus 2,14,760 equals to 3,78,380. That is our total NPV. What we have done, this PV plus this PV equals to total PV. Now cash outflow of the project, it is always denominated in rupees. What was our cash outflow for the project? It was 2,50,000 for each situation. We can write it here 2,50,000 for all the 9 parts. The cash outflow was same, that is 2,50,000. This is what we have paid, or we would incur the cost for accepting the project. Hence we would write it as 2,53,000 for all the 9 parts, as it would not differ for any kind of situation, whether it is A, B or C or whatever subsets we have made. Now we have to find out what is our NPV. Again, both NPV is also only denominated in rupees. So here what our NPV would be, it would be total present value, what we would get of cash inflow. Total cash flow present value minus cash outflow. We can say that total PV minus cash outflow is equals to our NPV. So what we can see, our cash outflow was 2,50,000, whereas our cash inflow is 1,28,070. It means that we would have negative NPV for the first part, that is 1,21,930. Similarly, again for second year we are seeing the same thing. It is negative 59,980. For the third situation, it is again nominally it has been reduced to 10,420 negative NPV. That means that we are having loss in that project. It is not financially acceptable according to situation A or path 1 to 3. In the fourth path, what we can see, 2,24,000 was our cash inflow, whereas our cash outflow is 2,50,000. Means again cash outflow is more by rupees 25,000 280, it means that project is not feasible according to the path 4. In the path 5, we can see that definitely project is acceptable because we are having a positive cash inflow of 7,760. In path 6, we are again having positive cash inflow as inflow is of 2,66,020, whereas outflow was of only 2,50,000. It means that we are having a positive cash inflow of 16,020. Similarly, for next path also, that is for 7th, we are again having positive cash inflow of 70,560. For next year, it is 3,37,080 minus 2,50,000 cash outflow, that is 87,080. And lastly, 3,78,380 minus 2,50,000, that is 1,28,380. This is our NPV for all the paths which we have calculated. Now that NPV from their working note we would fetch here. This is what where we need that NPV. Hence we will move it here and we would write for first path it was 1,20,000 minus 1,21,930. For second situation minus 59,980. For third situation it is minus 10,420. For fourth situation it is minus 25,280. For fifth situation we have positive NPV of 7,760. For sixth situation it is 16,020 positive. For seventh situation it is 70,560. For eighth situation it is 87,080. And lastly for ninth situation it is 1,28,380. That is our NPV which we have calculated in this portion of working note for various paths. Now we have to constitute joint probability. It is simple combination of these two. For various situation we would do this calculation. 0.2 multiplied by 0.2, it would be 0.04. 0.2 multiplied by 0.3, 0.06. 0.2 multiplied by 0.5, 0.10. Similarly, 0.4 multiplied by 0.2, I would mark it like this so that you can see also. 0.2 multiplied by 0.4, 0.08. Then for second, 0.4 multiplied by 0.6 equals to 0.24. 0.4 multiplied by 0.2 equals to again 0.08. Then 0.04 multiplied by 0.3, that is 0.412. Then again 0.4 multiplied by 0.3, 0.12. And lastly 0.4 multiplied by 0.4, that is 0.1616. This is our joint probability. Now we have to find expected NPV. For that purpose, what we need to do, we need to again multiply the joint probability. We have to again multiply joint probability. So for the purpose of calculating the last answer whether the project is feasible or not, we have to go with the expected NPV. It will be again denoted in rupees. So what we have to do, we have to just multiply NPV by joint probability. By multiplying NPV with joint probability, we can get our expected NPV. So minus 1,21,930 multiplied by 0.04 is equals to minus 4,877.20 minus 59,980 multiplied by 0.06 equals to minus 3,598.80. Then minus 10,420 multiplied by 0.10 equals to minus 1042, that is 1042. Then minus 25,280 multiplied by 0.08 is equals to minus 2022.40, then 7760 multiplied by joint probability of 0.24 is equals to 1862.40, then 16,020 multiplied by joint probability of 0.08 is equals to 1281.60, then 70,560 multiplied by 0.12 is equals to 8,467.20, that is our expected NPV. Then 0.12, that is our joint probability, multiplied by 87,080 equals to 10,449.60, and lastly 1,28,380 multiplied by 0.16 is equals to 20,540.80, that is our expected NPV. Now, for the purpose of calculating final NPV, we have to sum up all the expected NPV, whether it is in minus or plus. This would be added and then laterally deducted from these positive sums. So we will get our answer as 31,061.20. That would be our positive NPV for that particular project. As this NPV is being in the positive term, it means that project is feasible. We can go with the project, we can accept the project, and this was the solution which is related with the decision tree approach, whether the project is feasible or not. This kind of solution can be asked in the examination. Remember one thing, for it would be maximum for 2 years. What we have to do, we have to write the thing as it is been mentioned in the question. First of all, for year 1 we would write cash inflows with their probabilities for each of the situation. For year 2, for each situation we can be given 3 possibilities. We have to write it accordingly for first, second, third for year 1, first, second, third for year situation 2, for situation 1, first, second, third for situation 3rd. After getting this, we have named it as 9 paths, so that while making this working note we should have clarity what we are writing, whether it is not an statistical error. For first year, in first year we have 3 possibilities. In second year, for first, second, third path we have year 1 cash inflow constant of 1 lakh, similarly 1,20,000 for second year. For third year it is 1,80,000. What we have done for year 1 path 1 lakh cash inflow for first situation, the discounting factor was 10%. According to it, first year discounting factor is 909. We get our answer as 90,900. This was for first year. Second year we have first possibility of 45,000 cash inflow. For that discounting factor was 0.826. We get our answer as present value 37,170. In total cash flows present value we get answer as 1,28,070. 90,900 plus 37,170, it is 1,28,070. Out of which our cash outflow was of rupees 2,50,000. It means that project is having a loss of 1,21,930. Similarly, for second year we have done 1 lakh multiplied by 909, 90,900. Second possibility in second year was of 1,20,000. We have write it down. 8.8 multiplied by present value factor of 826, 99,120. We have joined it 90,900 plus 99,120. We get 1,90,020. Out of which our cash outflow was of 2,50,000. Hence negative answer for this. For first 4 situation, for first 4 paths, we have seen the negative answer, negative expected present value or NPV. For fifth situation, we have seen 1,20,000 was our first year cash inflow at the discounting rate of 0.909. We get our answer as 1,09,080. Again, for second year, the possibility of fifth path was of 1,80,000 into 0.826. Answer is 1,48,680. We have joined both the PVs of first year and second year, 1,09,000 plus 1,48,680 is equals to 2,57,760, out of which we have our cash outflow of 2,50,000. For the first time in first 5 parts, we get our positive answer of 7,760, which was continued till the last part. We have put that NPV here. We have get our joint probability. How we have get our joint probability? Probability of first year multiplied by probability of second year for concerned part, that is 0.2 multiplied by 0.2 is equals to 0.04. 0.4 for sixth part, 0.4 multiplied by 0.2, 0.08 for eighth part, 0.4 multiplied by 0.3, 0.12. Once we get the answer of all the probabilities, what we have done, we have just multiplied and get our answer. We have just multiplied this. I would write it with the black marker so that we could have better visibility and understanding what we have done here. This is what we have done likely for all the following sums. And lastly, we have add up all this thing and we get our answer as 31,061. Hence the project can be accepted. This is for decision tree approach, as we have discussed in earlier lecture. As the diagrammatic representation looks like an decision tree, that is why it is named as decision tree approach or decision tree method. In the coming videos, we would see the further part and the next portion of the project appraisal and finance. Until then, stay tuned. Thank you.